again, with a sense of healthy humility, because as Rimshi's remind us, we have our karmic limitation of being ego-centered right now, confused with the wrong view of self. That's our main limitation, and everything else just kind of expands out for that, everything else, anger, attachment, pride, fears, they all just come out of that, but the main issue is this wrong view of self, self-centeredness that kind of motivates all our actions right now, I mean, there are times when we're kind, we think about others, no question, but there's still this view of self that's just with us all the time, so that's the one we really want to just remind ourselves each day. That's the work that needs to be done. Just gradually chipping away at that wrong view of self. And, one of the quickest methods is, relying on a deity, a being who embodies where we want to go to. In this instance, with this retreat's Tara, embodying this beautiful mind of selflessness, embodying the beautiful mind of bodhicitta that is trained, fully trained to sort of care and hold with also wisdom, the right wisdom, all beings, like a mother, mothering us into enlightenment, mothering us through the path. So may I and all beings be guided by Arya Tara, by all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, continually receiving their blessings. As Rimshi said, we're never alone. It's just that, the self makes us feel that we're alone, we're in this cell all the time, our own cell, our own prison cell. But when we prostrate, we connect with the holy objects, we feel, we feel their presence seeping into our lives, into our hearts and our minds. So we need to do that every day, to try to feel their presence just guiding us as we connect with them more deeply. Om Namo Manjushri Nama Sushri Nama Utama Shri Soha. Om Namo Manjushri Nama Sushri Nama Utama Shri Soha. Om Namo Manjushri Nama Sushri Nama Utama Shri Soha. Okay, so taking a few minutes just to go through the body and release and relax and check our posture. Just every day gently, as Rimshi said, we need a healthy relationship with ourselves. So just healthily checking our body, where we are, gently and firmly getting into a nice position to support our mind, our heart for meditation. So when we leave the retreat, you know, some of us, we already have a practice. So we already have a kind of, you know, habit. It's quite easy, you know, to go to the cushion in the morning to set up our motivation or kind of give us some inspiration in the practice we're doing for the day. Some of us, maybe it's a bit more difficult. We're not there yet. Or it's just harder to, you know, to kind of go there, you know, be on our own and be with the mind. There's some resistance. It's nice when we kind of have this feeling when we come to this retreat, we have this sense of excitement, you know, very excited. We're going to be at Vajrapani, be with Rinpoche and be with others and hear teachings. Even Lama Zopa Rinpoche said that's a good excitement because we're excited to practice virtue. We're excited to work with our minds, you know, with the environment in our minds and our hearts. So it'd be nice if we had that every day, you know, when we wake up, feel excited about the day, excited to meditate before we go to work or do whatever other activities are ahead of us for that day. Even excited to keep a sense of mindfulness throughout the day. So that's why in the Lam Rim, because everybody has those obstacles, you know, that sort of laziness in mind, resistance to practice. So in the Lam Rim, it starts with this teaching on precious human rebirth to motivate us. As Rinpoche said, this is a spiritual practice, is a transformation of our motivation, gradual. So the kind of sense of precious human rebirth is thinking about, as we mentioned the other morning, all the positive conditions we have right now in our lives. And also in the light of past lives, many past lives, when we haven't had the sun of the Dharma in our lives, or we haven't been open to that. Like the Buddha came 2,500 years ago, so where were we then? Many great masters. Since then, a lineage of incredible practitioners, masters, Nagarjuna, Asanga, 14 Dalai Lamas. So I wonder if we were around then. But right now we are here. So it's a bit like, you know, maybe we lived in this, we've been living in this kind of cheap apartment, locked off with the sun, not much light, gets damp in the winter. Really difficult to live there, you know, really uncomfortable. It's all blocked in and, you know, we haven't had much kind of money, you know, to do much with it. And all of a sudden, you know, we kind of go buy a ticket in the lottery, enter in the lottery and we win all this money. I mean, it's so exciting what we can do with that money, that sense of joy. So the precious human rebirth is a little bit like that, recognizing we're so lucky and it's so exciting that we can build now a beautiful house, we can help others step by step with the money that we've this opportunity, this wealth, this fortune that we've received into our lives all of a sudden. So that's why we reflect on that, to try and get that experience. Like, oh, I'm so lucky to be able to go and sit on my cushion. So lucky to be able to do these practices. But, to build a beautiful place and a house, the environment or enlightenment takes a long time. It's a big project. But with that sense of excitement about how it's going to look, this big, beautiful place that we're going to maybe build for ourselves, for others, to enjoy. That's like building our Buddha land or mandala. Somebody asked me, what's a mandala? It's kind of like your future Buddha land that you're offering now. But we know it's going to take a long time. So as Rimshi said, we don't try not to have expectations in our practice, just step by step, planting seeds, planting our motivation, and just with that sense of happiness and excitement as we move along. Knowing that there's going to be obstacles, it's a big project. Knowing that a lot of your buttons are going to be pushed. We have to work with a lot of people, but that's our field for collecting merit. All sentient beings are our field for patience practice, merit practice, chipping away at the kind of strong sense of self. So let's see when we leave today, how much trying to hold this feeling of how fortunate we are, like we're at Vajrapani every day. We're here, we're listening to teachings every day when we sit on the cushion. We're in the presence of holy beings every day when we sit on the cushion. Because omniscient mind's always with us. So Rinpoche mentioned the mantra Om Ahom, how important that is. It encompasses all the teachings. Om is the enlightened body, all the qualities, the holy body, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Ah embodies all the qualities of the holy speech, all the Buddhas. The 84,000 sets of teachings that the Buddha taught into 3 baskets, again filled with teachings. All the way down to the mantras. So everything that comes out of the Buddha's speech is embodied in Ah. All that power. I mean, we still benefit for the Buddha's teachings, for the sutras that he taught 2,500 years ago. So that's very powerful. I mean, most of us, our words will be forgotten, But the speech of the Buddha goes on for thousands of years, impacting the minds of many, many beings. So that's in Ah. Then the home is the mind of the Buddha, Dharmakaya, ultimate truth, our ultimate truth, and the ultimate truth of all the awakened ones, embodied in the sound and the syllable home. So Lama Yeshe Rinpoche, because Rinpoche mentioned the importance of that, saying that when we can just throughout the day. Lama Yeshe has this really nice meditation, which also helps to develop, to connect us more with the power of mantra and sound. That we also can, once we say the mantras, then again we go into, a little bit concentration. As Rinpoche said, we go back and forward. With any mantra, we recite some, and then through the power of that mantra, the sound, the visualization, helps with concentration. It opens up sort of peaceful mind of abiding in our own inner clarity. So let's visualize around our crown, or even Lama said we can do just in our brain area, wherever's comfortable in our body, and thinking that our body as well is just kind of made of light. Maybe we start with just light on our crown, a ball of light, and it just dissolves through our whole body, and all the cells and pores of our body just get transformed into luminous light. Not physical and concrete. Do this for a couple of minutes. And then now we place either on our crown or somewhere around the brain, top of the head area, Om, a white radiating letter Om, the syllable. So it's best if we can do in Sanskrit or Tibetan, but just now, even Lama said for beginners, we can just do OM, or just feeling that white radiant light and it's vibrating with the sound of Om. Down at the level of our throat, in our throat chakra, a vibrating A syllable or AH, not clear on the syllable, or just the sound and their light vibrating at the level of the throat and the throat chakra. And in the heart chakra, the home, blue radiating light. So in our heart chakra, deep inside there is our most subtle mind. She talked about gross, subtle, very subtle consciousness or mind. So the home is kind of mixed with our, most subtle part of our cell, subtle mind of clear light called in Tantra. We feel it's like that place, most deepest place in our heart that we go to the death time. The home's kind of there mixed with that mind. So we're going to go back to the Om. We're going to recite together a few times and then just a few times silently the Om. And as we do it, we imagine light just streaming down. So we have this kind of central psychic channel that runs alongside the spine. So as we recite Om, thinking that all the blessings of the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, all our gurus, much as we can hold there, that feeling that's embodied in the Om, especially their body, you know, that's embodying the qualities of the body of the Buddha. So they've went beyond birth, old age, sickness, so our bodies decay. So they have bodies that are just constantly youthful, made of light, emanating wisdom from every pore. So that's our potential. So we feel that potential gets activated as we chant Om, and the light just filling our central channel, and it can also spill through the whole body, white light. Also purifying our karma, killing, stealing, sexual misconduct that we've created with the body. You know, pacifying those karmic habits. I'll do one time, then we can do a few times together. Om. 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 And a few times yourself, just whispering and just filling up with the light, focusing on that. And then we just spend a minute just being in the concentration of that experience. Whatever it opens up in the body, in the mind, we just sit with that. In the ah syllable in the throat, radiating red light. So again, it pours out from the ah down our central channel. It can also fill our whole body as we chant together and thinking about enlightened speech. You know, first of all, purifying our karmic habits. So when she says we sit in the cushion, we need to recognize our karmic limitations and create these seeds to transform them. So, you know, harmful speech, divisive speech. Sometimes we lie, you know, so all these disempower the speech, cause us not to be able to benefit others through your speech. People don't listen, don't take you seriously. They get purified, and then we receive it's like the 64 melodious qualities of the Buddha, especially this wisdom that's behind the speech of the Buddha that makes it so powerful. So imagine purifying with the red light and getting filled up with the red light as we chant a few together, a few on our own, and then just concentrate again on the ah, or in the spaciousness, that quality, that ah, filling our whole being. Ah, 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 ah. Then the hum syllable, right in our heart chakra. So as Rimshi said, it's difficult because the most subtle mind usually is quite covered by our karmic habits. It only really manifests fully at the time of death, unless we have very powerful meditation. But as much as possible when we chant mantra, when we do these visualizations in Tantra, that Rimshi was explaining, some of the visualization, chanting mantra, concentration, thinking about emptiness, these all kind of activate the subtle mind, more subtle minds. So we try to feel, it's almost like, Rimshi says, like an earthquake when it gets activated. There's a sudden shift in our perception. So we try to feel we're doing that when we chant the home, just waking that most subtle mind up. That embodies all the Buddhas, the home. So they're in that state, is most subtleness, awakenedness all the time. So we feel that experience just, again, fills our whole central channel, our whole being with blue light, and purifying also our obstacles to that, our strong sense of self. It blocks that out. Our habits, agitation, anger, a strong attachment. Our new kind of neurotic, busy mind just gets kind of overwhelmed by the blue light. Om. 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 Then we do Om Ahom. So the white, red, and blue light filling our whole being, receiving all the blessings, becoming oneness. As Rimshi said in Kriya Tantra, we try to become oneness. And we can't visualize ourselves as deities, but we try to get this experience, our body, speech, and mind becoming oneness with the stillness, the peacefulness. All the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, you know, when the mind's fully awake, it's also got great peace and stillness. So whatever we can, whatever experience, however small, after reciting Om Ahom, we just try and find that clarity and stillness, remembering that its nature is empty. That's my nature. Oneness with all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, all the holy beings. Even though there's all these clothes that we're wearing internally, that moment, we're just in that awakeness and stillness with all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. That's me. So say Om Ahom a few times and just concentrate on that. Om Ahom. 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 So we just take a moment to dedicate as well. So may I and all beings, you know, be able to really awaken this oneness with all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, this our enlightened quality, our Buddha potential. And in the meantime, so as Rimshi says, we always make these motivations of where we want to go, where we want to land, you know. So we want to land in enlightenment. That's the final destination. But also on the journey, may I find joy, inspiration, be able to hold that that feeling of how precious it is to do, to have time in my life space to receive teachings, to meditate and practice with others, to have my own sitting meditate practice. May I find a joy and inspiration and ease in that. Just that feeling of when we come to retreat together, excitement. May I be able to hold that by remembering the preciousness of this opportunity that I have, with this precious human life. And that's the best way to take care, as Rimshi says, our karmic self. Continually nurturing, planting seeds for our enlightenment. Having the big view of our enlightenment and the joy along the path. Trying to hold that as much as possible, even though in the way there will be a lot of obstacles, but having the strength and inspiration to kind of move through them. So may I and all beings have all these fortunate conditions in our lives. Okay, thank you. Oh yes, the katas. Yeah, just for those of you who, I think most of us know, but just in case, if you'd like, yeah, we'll bring the katas out now actually. So usually, I think it'll be after the puja now, for those of us doing the mandala offering. So there's that part. We offer a mandala to Rimshi probably after the puja, to thank Rimshi for the teachings. And then after we've done that, Ryan will thank Rimshi on behalf of Vajrapani. And then if you'd like to offer a kata, white scarf, we have some here. We also have some in the shop if you'd like to have your own scarf, and then you have your less scarf all the time for offering at any teachings. You can offer that, and plus we have envelopes here. If you want to make a personal offering to Rimshi, you can do that at the same time, go up and offer a kata. Does anyone not know how to offer a kata? What's a puja? First of all, does anyone not know how to offer a kata? So I can just show you quickly after this. I'll bring the katas out and I'll show you how to do that. And maybe you can go at the end of the queue, not the end, but a little bit further in, so you see how everybody else does it. So you get more comfortable. So I can show you that. But yeah, so you can do that. And then a puja is basically, it means to offer. So Rimshi mentioned, for us to really develop, this is a really important, we do these regularly at the centres. We offer them online at Vajrapani. And we need a lot of merit. Even though we want to be Buddha, we want to be good, we want to be happy, it's not easy, yeah? So we need to support the mind through creating merit, like good karma, So a puja is just a skillful way where we make offerings to the Buddhas, we chant praises. Even when we chant praises, what it's doing is it's increasing our ability to be virtuous. So it's these special practices that kind of support the mind to stay positive all the way through the path, to be more patient, more kind. It's just sitting there and think, well, may I be patient, may I be more kind? That's nice. But then you get off the cushion and you just get upset really easily, right? Or, you get your attachment's really strong, even though you think may, that's a start. But then there's a whole method. It's like, I'm sick, may I be well? Well, that's great, but then you need all the causes and conditions. So merit is kind of like the inner medicine so that you will get better. We need to take the medicine to get better, and it needs to absorb into us as well. So we need to do a lot of it. So merit and purifications where it's like supporting the, may I do this? And now I need to actually take the medicine, So all these practices are like medicines to support our mind in virtue. to understand the teachings more, to feel them more. So it's quite important, these praxis. Very fundamental praxis, yeah. But you won't get all of it. Just kind of absorb what you can, you know. It takes a while to sort of get all the different parts, yeah. Okay, Susie. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, obviously, you know, it's fine if you don't make an offering. It's just that from our side, you know, we need to open up to be able to receive the teachings as well. I mean, we can see today, even Miriam, she's teaching, some of it we got, some of it's difficult, some of it's, you know, it's like, where was that? Some of it's here, some of it's there, some of it's there, and he, you know, some of it goes in. So definitely from my experience, just, you know, the more we make offerings, the more give of ourselves, surrender ourselves. I mean, not like you don't make yourself poor, you don't make it, you know, even if it's a few dollars or a box of incense or a few candles, whatever, it really supports us to be able to hear and absorb the teachings more, and it's creating a karmic, you know, stronger karmic connections with the teachers. So that praxis offering is, in this tradition, really important for our own development. Not so much. I mean, Lamas Operimshi, we give them all these offerings, he just gives them away. He used to just give them away, you know. So, but still, we needed to do that. What the teacher does is they're up to them, but it's like you start to feel more and more you need to do that, you know. I mean, Lamas Operimshi used to say we need to offer all the way up to enlightenment. Like you don't stop. All the bodhisattvas, their offerings, they're making offerings all the time, you know. So that praxis offering in this tradition is like really, really important as well for us to be able to progress. But also within your own, not at the sense of feeling you lost something by giving, always with a sense of feeling so happy that you could offer this much or that, you know, not like, oh, I've given away and I sort of wish I hadn't given that much because I don't have enough for my latte on the way home or something like that, you know. You don't want to get into that place. It's like, I'm really happy I offered that. That's it. There's no feeling of like, I wish I hadn't, I couldn't really afford that, you know, so because that kind of disturbs the mind and the merit and all that. So just what you're comfortable with, what you feel happy to give. And if that's just happy for with a kata or happy just with the tea, you know, wherever that lies for you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very important, yeah. We have donations. I'll bring the katas out and I'll show whoever doesn't know. Actually, maybe someone else could show both of you because I need to get set up for the puja. Who would like to show Heather? Is it? It's not. What's your name? Okay. Itam. Yeah, that might take a while. Itamara. Itamara. Okay, great. Itamara. Who? George, do you mind showing them how to offer a kata? Great, thank you. And George can also answer your questions really, really well as well. George has been very humble sitting here, but he's a very long